Hello and thanks for joining us. Coming up, our roundup of this week's movie releases. Steven Soderbergh's back with an A-list heist caper. French First World War drama See You Up There brings the book to the screen. And superheroes come with a side order of comedy in Thor Ragnarok.
You Logans mustn't be as simple-minded as people say.
People say that?
I'm joined by Emma Jones, film critic. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Now, we're starting with Logan Lucky from director Steven Soderbergh, which is funny because we thought we'd seen the last of him. His retirement from cinema was short-lived then.
Yes, does anyone believe in celebrity retirement anymore? I remember being given a last ever interview with Steven Soderbergh a few years ago, and here he was back firstly with The Knack, a very, very cinematic TV show, and now he's back with a feature film. And thank goodness, Logan Lucky is a great heist movie, and it's set in America's Deep South. Now, it's not entirely original. I'd say it was a mishmash of Soderbergh's greatest hits. It's sort of Out of Sight meets Ocean's 11.
OK, so there's nothing very groundbreaking or novel, no big surprises?
No, but it's extremely watchable, and at times it's an exceptional film. It's also a lot going on below the surface. If you think that it's set in Virginia, in prime Trump country, and the two leading characters are played by Channing Tatum and Adam Driver as the unlucky Logan brothers. Channing Tatum loses his job at a local factory. Adam Driver plays an Iraq war veteran who's lost his arm. So these guys really are the ultimate victims in the onward march of globalisation. But what do? Well, they don't vote for Donald Trump. They actually decide to rob their local NASCAR racetrack. So let's have a look at some of the film.
Pulling off a job like this, I gotta weigh the positive versus the negative. Well, you Logans can just think of it as a plus or minus.
We get positive and negative. Okay.
So, all cash. That's a positive. But a place like the track, it's gonna have 20 times the security of a bank. So that's negative.
So we've got a bit of repetition in terms of old Soderbergh favourite themes, but apart from that, what makes it a great film for you?
It's the performances, as you saw right there. One Mr. Daniel Craig. Does he remind you of anybody?
Jean-Paul Gaultier, maybe? In Breton stripes?
Definitely channeling that. He reminds us all of what a superb character actor he really is. He plays a convict with a penchant for hard-boiled eggs. And it just makes you think, oh, I wish Daniel Craig would just do some more small films. Adam Driver's absolutely fantastic in this supporting role as well. Hilary Swank has a cameo in the movie. She's really underutilised as a police officer, nevertheless brilliant. You're going to want to see this film just because it's Soderbergh at his best. There's double and triple bluffs, and he's so good at heist movies. It's very, very extraordinary fun.
OK, simple fun then. Well, next up, Thor Ragnarok. Now, going on the name, I'd guess this is an action movie, but apparently it's a sort of comedy too.
Yeah, it's difficult to say what Thor Ragnarok actually is. It's directed by Taika Waititi, the New Zealander who did Hunts for the Wilder People and also What We Do in the Shadows, which was a superb vampire spoof. So if you've seen those films, you know it's going to be unconventional. What I can say with certainty is out of all 17 Marvel films, Thor Ragnarok is by far the funniest I've seen. And there's even a bit of a plot going on. Ragnarok means Norse Armageddon. Okay. And Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth, has to save the world from it. And to do that, it'll mean taking on his old buddy, the Hulk, who's played by Mark Ruffalo. Anyway, let's have a look in what's in store in Thor Ragnarok.
Hey! Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work. Where have you been? Everybody thought you were dead. There's so much has happened since I last saw you. I lost my hammer, like yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh. Loki's alive. Can you believe it? He's up there. Loki, look who it is.
So you can see there that Taika's definitely resurrected the Thor brand, because if you ever saw Thor: The Dark World, you know it was pretty turgid and boring, and it really, really needed a reboot. Chris Hemsworth has been constantly outshone by Tom Hiddleston, who plays his more interesting younger brother Loki, I think. And this film really shows what a great comedy actor Chris Hemsworth is. He was brilliant as the male receptionist in the all-female Ghostbusters, and now he finally gets a chance to shine.
And in that clip, we saw there are some impressive names. Jeff Goldblum, looking very right
Very
there.
funny.
Mark Ruffalo, also Kate Blanchett. It's a big all-star cast. Do they live up to their names?
Yes, it is, and Mark Ruffalo's great in this film. Kate Blanchett, not so much. She plays the goddess of death, Hela, and she's a bit of a cross. Somebody described her as Alice Cooper's nasty younger sister, really, and she gets a bit maleficent with her horns on. I don't think she's very good at these set pieces, but watch out for Benedict Cumberbatch. Also got a small part as Doctor Strange. Brilliant.
Okay, well, it is funny, as we saw from the clip, so maybe we're going to be seeing more comedy in superhero movies.
I think it's really working at the moment. We've seen a lot of backstories for Batman and also Spider-Man, which are essentially tragic. Then Guardians of the Galaxy came out. It did so well at the box office, and it was a real laugh. And I think finally the creators of superhero movies have accepted that it needs something fresh. And at the moment, the word du jour is comedy.
Certainly bringing a new audience. Now, next we're looking at a French release. This is called See You Up There in English, or Au revoir là-haut in French. It's a very eagerly awaited film here in France.
Yes, and that brings a lot of pressure, doesn't it? Because it's such a beloved book, written by Pierre Lemaitre, and it won the Prix Goncourt back in 2013. A lot of budget rests on this film, and the good news is that Pierre, at any rate, really, really likes the movie. It's directed by the French actor and director Albert Dupontel, and it's certainly his vision, because not only did he co-write it, he stars in it, and he's made the film. It's set in World War I, and it's about two soldiers who, having been sent over the top in the last days before the armistice, set about a war memorial scam.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the film and hear from the writer of that story, Pierre Lemaitre.
Tu rentres de la guerre, même avec le visage un peu esquinté. Et maintenant que la guerre est finie, tu veux disparaître? Il ne reste rien de lui.
Si.
I met with many directors and producers, and then I learned that Albert Dupontel was interested in the project, so I stopped searching. I said if someone can do it, it's him. His adaptation makes me a bit envious and even angry, and at times I wanted to say enough is enough, stop having better ideas than me.
So given all that expectation, does it live up to the hype?
Yes, I think it does, really. It's a very, very satisfying film to watch. And I really like the performances. I tell you who's going to be a very big star. He's currently also in 120 BPM, and that is the Argentine actor Nahuel Perez Bisquiar. He's brilliant as Edward in the film. Albert Dupontel also shines. His character's also called Albert. And then you have Laurent Lafitte, last seen in Elle. He's great as the evil officer that they're seeking revenge. Now, it's a hard job to pull off this film, because it's three stories in one. It's about Paris in the 1920s, it's a war film, and there's also a revenge thriller in there as well. He does it very well. I feel that there are echoes of Jean-Pierre Jeunet in this film, very much so.
Indeed, we don't normally see these large, sprawling, big productions in France, do we? We don't see them that often.
Well, we haven't seen them for a while. I was going to say, when you turn to directors for these set pieces, it's Christophe Gans, who of course did Beauty and the Beast a few years ago, and it's Jean-Pierre Jeunet as well. Now, they're not making anything at the moment, so what Albert Dupontel has done rather brilliantly is show that he can be trusted with an enormous budget and pull off a film that I think is going to do very well at the Césars, it's going to do very well at the box office, and unlike some big French films, it is going to be seen around the world, I think.
Okay, well, big things are expected from Au revoir là-haut. See you up there. Now, we're finishing with a film that won the Golden Bear at the Berlin Film Festival this year. Body and Soul certainly impressed the jury. What did you make of it, Emma?
Oh, it's a really, really beautiful film. And the funny thing is, I've been waiting for 18 years for the Hungarian director Ildikó Enyedi to make another film. Her last film was in 1999, and she started off by winning the Camera d'Or in 1989 at Cannes for her debut film, My 20th Century. Now, on Body and Soul, it's a very unconventional love story. It's about two very introverted, slightly strange people who meet at their job in a meat processing plant, and they discover that they're having the same dream every night about a stag and a doe. And so they gradually fall in love, and they said that they try to recreate in real life what happens in their subconscious.
OK, well, it must be quite a strange gap between films, 18 years. Are there any echoes of her previous work in there?
Yeah, I think she really likes to explore parallel worlds in her films. You certainly saw that in My 20th Century, which was an exploration of the two parallel lives of sisters. And here she really juxtaposes the meat or the body of the abattoir where they both work, and these beautiful surreal dreams where they meet at night in their soul. There's a couple of other things I really like about the film. The lead actor is in his mid-60s, and this is his first acting role. Amazing. So I think that really shows that not only can you fall in love at any age, but you can also have a career change.
OK, well, it looks fascinating. I'll check it out. Thank you very much for that, Emma. We'll leave you with a clip of the film Body and Soul. Thanks for joining us this week, and thanks to you at home for watching. Do remember to check out our website. We're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.